Okay, let's get everything going. We are so excited to have the February 5th Miami offshore fishing. And we have Captain Wayne Conn. I'm going to bring him on in a second. In the meantime, we do have our auction. I'm not going to share the screen right now, but that ends tomorrow. And a lot of things are in minimum bid. I just added a few fishing trips to the auction. So if you go to ladiesletsgofishing.com and just check the auction, there's still time to bid. You can view items without registering, but you have to register to bid. It's just your email address and stuff.
Okay.
We are going to have a raffle on the boat. So bring like 20 bucks. And what I'm going to do is do that early on. And just sell the raffle tickets, and we're going to pull it on the way out. So who knows, there might be some things in the buckets you want to use. All right. And Wayne, if you're ready, I'm going to make this on speaker view, and I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. All right. You're on speaker view. Everybody else realize, I don't know what those dots are, but everybody else realize if you make a sound, I'm going to mute you because you will become speaker view. You'll be the one big. All right. So Wayne Conn, we go back for like 30 years.
At least.
and he has always been a producer. I mean, if you've been on his Facebook page, you will see the amazing fish that he has caught. And what's great about Wayne is he has plan B, plan C, you know, if the weather's bad. But I don't think the weather's going to be that bad this weekend. Wayne, things can change from now to then. I don't think they'll change drastically, but what can people expect for weather? And
well, you know, it's this time of the year. The one thing, once these fronts start moving, they're reasonably predictable. The stronger they are, the more predictable. This one doesn't seem to be too strong. We got something coming down and coming through. But I think right now, I think the highest thing I've seen forecast is like 2 to 3 foot seas. So to me, that's just a day. That's just a beautiful day, you know? So yeah, we don't want to fish in the bay unless we have to. If that were to happen, I may go all the way down to Key Biscayne. And you know, run double the time to fish down there. I don't know yet. You know, sometimes the channels down there can be really good fishing, but it's a hell of a ride for me. But you know, I'd do that if I had to. But you know, we have fished in the bay right there near downtown Miami, and if the mackerel are just starting to show up here, they're in Sebastian pretty good, or up in Jupiter pretty good. They're not quite real good here where you can go and really catch a bunch of them. And mackerel are a lot of fun to catch, you know, when they're around. But I think that's more like a plan B if we got messed up. And truthfully, if it's a little bit bouncy, there's days we'll just put out 4, 5, 6 trollers and catch mahis and tunas and stuff too if it's a little sloppy. It's a big boat. It's almost 70 feet, so it's a comfortable boat. Handles the ocean very well.
Good.
I think the last time you were on the boat, Betty, we did a swordfish. We did a few swordfish trips with the ladies. That was a blast. I know that one night we hooked, I think, 5 swordfish, and we fought fish for like 6 hours. We only caught one, but I think when the lady ran out of wine was about the time we gaffed the fish and it was time to go home. So that worked out perfect, you know. So.
Okay, I need to mute somebody who keeps showing up on, let's see, Cindy. I'm going to mute you for now. All right, because you keep coming up, but that's okay.
Yeah. All right. Couple reasons I asked you guys to do the afternoon. We don't run nights on Sunday nights. We have had the last month. We don't post all the pictures because it's almost like we're attracting a little more attention than we necessarily need. But we've been getting really almost every time we've wanted late in the afternoon. We've caught a lot of blackfin tunas. And the cool thing is they're hitting vertical jigs with braided line. They just hit them so good. And I was just going to tell you, if any of the ladies have braided line, you know, I know that somebody there was from, I guess, Punta Gorda or some of the West Coast. You know, we don't just, you know, we do bottom fish at times, but it's not our main thing. And, you know, we stay within 3 or 4 miles most of the time. But we got a pretty good fishery here this time of the year for blackfin tunas. And you may catch a 2-pounder, you may catch a 20-pounder. And we've had trips in the last month where in an hour we've caught 15, 20 fish. And if we got enough pilchards, we can get them right around the boat. And that's like a late shot. So before that, to say, depending on current conditions, like Betty says, I kind of like, you can't always get what you want, but you can try to extract from what you see. In other words, if the current's really smoking good and we got a good blue water edge, we may catch 4 or 5 sailfish. So I have no problem. We got orders in for the bait. Let's hope that all works out. Normally this time of the year, we get really nice big pilchards, and I just soon have them as anything because everything eats them. Sailfish love them. Mutton snappers eat them. Everything eats them. So hopefully we won't have an issue with bait. And we also mix it up with dead baits as well. We fish standard, party boat rigs, whether they be, and we fish those pilchards, anything from on the top. We put them on bobbers, sometimes on floats, and we fish them all the way on the bottom with 8-ounce leads. So it works out well for us. We have to fish close to home. We're back in downtown Miami. It takes a little bit to get out. So we got a pretty good fishery out front. Like Betty said, it really a big important thing for my crew that they do take nice pictures every trip if they can. And I think we do. I think as far as party boats go, I do believe if you look up and down the East Coast anyway, I'm sure when you get up north of here, where they got to go, like off of Fort Pierce and further north, they got to run way offshore to bottom fish, but they kill us. We have done well. We've caught some really big red snappers, and there are places we fish for them, and I definitely will give it a try if we can. And it's well within the limits of state waters, which is really cool. So, but we have been able to catch those when the weather's right. We've been catching them almost on demand, which is kind of cool. So there's a lot of things we can do. We can't keep groupers. And of course, we've released several really nice black and gag groupers here since the first of the year, but that's okay. I know where they live. So we get to see them again, So, like the bottom line is, myself and the crew we've got, we got it down pretty good to what we're doing. And we really want to bend rods and just have fun. And that's, to me, we don't anchor fish, not too often, rarely. It's just not good enough fishing anywhere to anchor in one spot. Because once you throw the anchor, you're pretty well there for an hour at least. Mm-hmm. And weird thing about anchor fishing is sometimes those fish can turn on and turn off, and you may sit there an hour and not get a bite, and you're saying to yourself, God, I only got so much time here. I plan on keeping you guys out there till dusk. We have to fish the really late afternoon. Those tuna fish usually won't even start biting until 4:45 even. A lot of people don't even know that. A lot of the little boats have left the area I fish. It's gotten popular. My own customers now, they bring out friends in little boats, and we'll see them out there, and they're jigging with us and they're fishing with us. It's kind of a cool way because everybody's waving at each other and having fun. Nobody owns anything in the ocean anymore. So for me, I enjoy, look, let's face it, anybody that can afford to go fishing right now, I take my hat off to them because it's not easy. You go out there on the weekends, there's nobody out there. The cost of fuel and everything, it's years ago, and it's horrible. It's horrible for us. I mean, we're paying $5 a gallon, 70-foot boat. It's terrible. However,
let me ask everybody, please keep quiet, because when you say something, all of a sudden you're.
Yeah, I know I'm kind of rattling on here, but if anyone talk to me. Anybody have any questions? Look, whatever. Let's talk about. I'll just throw out there for tackle. Anything you got, pretty much you can use here. You can't fish for groupers now. There's no reason to. Mutton snapper fishing is 20, 30 pound line. Braid can be heavier, whatever you like. We tend to fish a little longer leaders. I got all the circle hooks in the world. I buy them for the boat. We got everything from 2 O's up to 6 O's and circle hooks. We got leaders from 30 up to 80. We don't use the 80 too much right now. We do occasionally get some really big amberjacks on some of this deeper area I've been fishing. There have been some, jacks big enough to eat the tuna fish. It sounds crazy, but really, really big fish at times. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But any tackle you have you're comfortable with, 20-pound spinning rod that has a lot of line, can handle maybe a big tuna or sailfish, something like that. We've hooked a few out there. I think we're yellowfins. I think they're still going because the amount of line these fish took were not like the normal tunas you catch off Miami. That's why I think they might have been yellowfins. So haven't caught one there yet. We've got some big blackfins in the areas, but that's what I'm really, really hoping for. Another good thing that did kind of show up we've got a couple spawning spots real close, and I don't go to them when there's a lot of boats around, because I don't want to, small boats are not good because they'll throw the anchor and they'll sit there and catch them and nobody comes out. I remember one year a guy caught, they got on I'm not gonna say my spots, but I was the only one that knew it, where we were catching beautiful yellow eye snappers. I would go in there like the last drift every day and catch 4, 5, 6, 8. Sometimes you catch 15. But a guy that fished there with me anchored up on him and caught 250 one day and just pretty much wiped out the whole spawning school. Unfortunately, people out there do that. But
let me ask you something. Most of the ladies are probably not going to bring their own tackle. You're going to have rods for them to use if they don't bring it. And you're saying like a 20-pound spinning rod with what kind of pound test? 20?
Yeah, we got plenty. Yeah, we got plenty of 20-pound spinners. We got quite a few of them. They're in good shape. I just picked up a whole bunch more reels. I got to see what rods I have. Some really good pins. I just got back from them. Had the drags all redone and everything. So if you're going to catch tuna fish, that's a fun way to catch them. Let's face it. It really is. So that's really what we're hoping for. And where we've been catching the snappers, the red snappers have been deep. It's over 200 feet of water. But if the conditions are right, everything is conditional. And when you drift fish, you're really at the mercy of the wind and the current and that stuff. So we'll take what it gives us. So that's kind of the way I run the boat, and we'll see what happens. We'll go from there. We usually set up in the front of the boat. We'll have folks up there with flat lines, and in the back of the boat, stuff that's on the bottom. And whether it's pilchards, cut bait, dead bait, whatever, we'll fish a variety of things, So,
I have another question. As far as the seas, what are you looking at and how can people prepare for them? Right now, it looks like they're not going to be too bad. I mean, a 70-foot boat.
No, it's 2 foot. I would suggest that, look, let's face it, you guys aren't rookies. You've been out fishing before. I don't see it turning up to where it's going to be 15 to 20 knots and 5 to 7 foot. But, the night before, if you were inclined to take any kind of a sea thing, I believe you're supposed to take it, the night before and the morning or something, or the afternoon. So just to have your body ready for it. But I don't know, the forecast, what I've looked at, it's supposed to be beautiful. So I'm actually running the boat in the morning. It's too bad some of you guys just don't come fishing in the morning too. You just stick around for the ladies thing. So we leave at 9 in the morning. And I believe if there's a football game, our business is really slow. A lot of folks tailgate and they party. It's what it is. So
yeah.
Football season is usually Sunday afternoons is my best time for 2 charters, because we don't have any locals come out because of football season. So
let me ask you a question then. Can they I mean, the ladies Let's Go Fishing trip is a little bit more because we organize it and everything, but
of course,
can they sign up for the morning trip too? And then
just
go out in the boat, come back and go out again?
they absolutely could. I can, what? I'm a little bit afraid to go off of this screen and check my calendar to see what we have. I guess I could do that. Let me see what happens.
Okay,
Now,
you can do that, or what I can do is email everybody, because there might be people that want to do like a double trip.
Yeah, normally it's $60 for that's like a local rate, but you guys are already spending good money. If you paid me $50 in the morning trip too, I'd be happy with that. And
that's really fantastic.
Well, look, I love taking people out that want to be there. And let's face it, for what's been going on the past couple of years, people got to get outside, and they're just happy.
Yeah.
If I can give them another reason to stay out a little longer, make it a real day. Some of you folks traveling a ways, get there at 8:30 in the morning, tell me how many people you got, and we'll make sure you're ready to go. You can bring food, whatever you want. We got a microwave. That's about it on the boat. But other than that, we'll have a big cooler. Bring your own coolers, of course. I'm not in the business to sell beer and sodas and water and food and stuff. That doesn't mean I don't have it on the boat sometimes. But yeah, you bring your own stuff, and you can make a day of it if you want. So
yeah, I'll tell the ladies if they want to go out in the morning and do a 2 trip to be there by 8:30 a.m. But I'm not sure. Like, do they have to sign up online or just pay cash or what?
Yeah, what
You
you
need to
do
know
is
how many.
Yeah, I would like to know how many. That's all. So just send me a text Saturday night or something, or something. Say I got you 7 girls or whatever. And that's good enough for me. So,
I'll
and
get with you afterwards, and then I'll send an email
yeah,
to everybody once this is over.
yeah,
Because honestly, if I was traveling, I would do that.
yeah. It didn't hit me till while we were speaking. There, I'm thinking, shoot, some of you folks are really coming a long way. So,
Yeah, we have, yes, they
Yeah.
are. They're coming from the West Coast. They're coming from
Yeah.
Clearwater, Daytona, West Palm, Punta Gorda, Sun City, which I don't know where that is. But Largo, I mean, they're coming from everywhere.
Wow.
So all right, so we'll do that. Finding your boat, that's another question. You said you were on the let's see, the boat's name that we're taking is the Another Reward.
Yep.
And you were on the first boat on the northwest corner of the marina.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's by the jet skis, right?
Yeah, there's a drop-off spot right there. There's a little parking lot. You're not allowed to park there though, but you can drive up there. It'll drop all your stuff off. Walk it down to the boat. Then you go park in a parking garage if you want. You park on the northern end. Excuse me, but yeah, that's what most of the folks do. They just pull up there. They can let somebody off with the tackle equipment and watch it. I would keep somebody though with it. We actually had a lady one time in a group, and she put her cooler and her rods up there and went to get her car, and she left them down on the dock, and somebody actually grabbed them. And I couldn't believe it. Right. And I didn't catch it. I don't know how I didn't see it, but it's just like right in front of everybody. Just something stupid that happened. So anyway, but it's a good place to drop it off. So you don't have to schlep the stuff all through the shopping mall or around the back and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, let me advise the ladies, the parking is like a few minutes walk. So if you're bringing like a heavy cooler, it would be good to have something with wheels.
Yeah.
Anything light you can
I would put
do.
Fifth Street right to the little marina right by the boat. That way you're only 100 feet from the boat, and they got a ramp. So if you have something on wheels, and you had a couple people with you, you just get it down to the boat and then somebody else go park the car. That way you don't have to, carry all that stuff. So, and I'm trying to think, they usually don't have heat games on Sunday afternoon. So that's a good thing, because that's another thing the marina does, or whoever's in charge of parking. It's like they charge you whatever they want, it seems like. So it's a good thing if some of you guys if you met somewhere else, even as many people you can get in the car to get down there, the better, because it can be expensive to park. I run those 11, 12-hour trips every now and then with my second boat, and which I'm going to be starting to do again pretty soon. But yeah, the times I remember there was an event going on at the arena, and they got charged $50 to park, and that was, to me, it's unreasonable. It's I don't know what to do about it. I've spoken to them, but the people I get to talk to, all they do is just hold their hands up. They just get paid to collect the money. And unfortunately, Miami is like a lot of places. They could care less, and they just going to get what they think they can get. It's just a fact.
I understand, but the ladies need to know that seas 2 to 3 feet is nothing for this boat. However, the rocking can make you feel sick.
Yeah, maybe.
And
Everybody's different. Yeah.
tell me what you tell people that what to do for seasickness.
Well, it depends on the medication. Just go by the directions. But I know that I think there was the standard Dramamine. They'd say to take it the night before, actually, that helps you with that stability thing. I've had folks have good luck with the drops behind the ears. There was wristbands for a while. I had a couple of customers that say that they like that, but I really don't. I would definitely, if the forecast stays 10 knots or less, I wouldn't take anything, because I don't care what they say, non-drowsy or this, that, or the other. I can't, the medications, I think you're going to feel it a little bit. So.
Yeah, you're going to be so sleepy. What I tell people is don't look down. Don't be looking on your cell phones.
Yeah.
If you're feeling bad, ask somebody else to get your water out of the cooler. And keep your eye on the horizon, because people fighting fish usually don't get sick. Just don't look down and get on the back of the boat where you can be in the fresh air. If you do get sick, don't go down to the head. That's even going to make it worse. Don't worry about it. Just go over the side. And sometimes once you do that, you'll feel okay and you can go right back to fishing.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry.
You
I
just,
think
you sort of get it out. It's done.
if you have to, you have to, so,
I have
but
a
You're
question.
not going to die from it.
no, I don't see it happening now.
Yeah, but I don't think we have 5 to 7 foot seas to worry about.
No, not at all.
Because, some people just the rocking motion.
I would tell you, make it
if you're
another
not
day.
used to it.
Honestly, if it was going to be that rough, I would say, no, let's just do this some other time. I don't mean to pull the plug on stuff, except it's important to me that I know I'm not typical like a lot of drift boats, but we tell the people on the dock, this is what you're going into. I mean, I tell them flat out, I don't want to take your money. If I see folks and they looking at the bay, they're going, oh, but it looks good. I'm saying, no, you don't get it. This is not the bay. We're going out. It's going 25. I mean, the trees are laying over and these people don't get it. And
They don't. They don't. But,
they just take
I
your,
don't. We're not going to have to deal with that. I don't think.
no,
We
it's
have that
beautiful.
situation
You got
this weekend.
beautiful. So you don't have to worry about a thing. You almost take my guarantee. It's going to be beautiful. It really looks that way. So unless something weird happens. So we got a little bit of a front rolling down, I think, just a soft one, but it isn't much. It's 8 to 10 knots, I think they're calling for. That's what you need. You want a little bit of breeze so the boat moves a little bit. You sit in one spot. It's, sometimes with no current and all that, it's brutal. The fishing's tough too. Little current's good. So
I've been out there when it's flat calm. It's like, oh, it's so beautiful. When the fish don't
can't
bite.
fight. No, you can't. They're down there.
It's a boat ride when it's flat calm.
Sure.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
I don't know if we already or if this was in the email, but are we catching and releasing everything?
No,
Or
it's
what?
whatever is legal to keep, you keep. I mean, I'm all for whatever the customer wants. If we have to catch a sailfish, I don't think I put a sailfish in a boat in I don't know how many years, and we catch a lot of them. So,
Yeah, I don't want to put sailfish.
we don't put them in a boat for pictures either. There's a reason for. Well, now they finally made that illegal. Thank God. I've done a lot of stuff with FWC. I do kids programs with an FWC officer. We do educational programs. Matter of fact, Betty, under her good graces, she allowed me to name it Kids Let's Go Fishing. I asked her for that like 20-something years ago. I said, do you really mind if I call it that? She said, oh, Wayne, I don't care. Now it's at least 20. So, it's a small little thing that I do for local schools and groups and stuff like that. So, but the FWC is important to me that we follow the rules and regs. And no, we don't put sailfish in the boat. If we have to catch one or two, we take pictures in the water. And that's it. Yeah. We do.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do with the fish, by the way, everybody. Hopefully we have enough to split. So we're just gonna split the fish. So if you catch a big fish, don't say that's my big fish and I get it all. Let the other ladies have fillets. If we run out of fish and there's not enough per person, then I'll do like a little raffle or something like that. These people want fish. Not everybody traveling may want fish to bring home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what we do with Ladies Let's Go Fishing, is to, have a chance for as many ladies as possible to get whatever fish it is.
Yeah, we're limited on time. You're fishing off South Florida. Look, there's a lot of negatives to it. We've got it kind of dialed in here. So I'm just hoping it stays dialed in past Sunday. I'll be happy with that. So, if we can get you guys out there and do what I think we can do, especially late afternoon. Earlier on, we may be able to catch a few mutton or something like that, maybe a king mackerel, maybe a sailfish, something. I don't know. So I'm just going to kind of just like I said, see what the conditions give me. And where I'm fishing is, about 300 feet of water where these tuna fish have been showing up. So, and there's some structure there. So it's pretty cool how tunas show up at, pretty predictable late afternoon on certain structures. It's really, so I've been a bottom fisherman my whole life. I've done all kinds of fishing. I mean, Chucky and I have won sailfish tournaments. Her husband and I have done well in sailfish tournaments together, but yeah, I used to focus a lot on the bottom fishing aspects, but there's so many other kinds of fish to catch off Miami that it's just good to have a good wide variety. Like I said, we've done the swordfish thing. That's pretty cool. I just hope we just get you guys out here and have fun. That's really what I want. Bend some rods. Let's have some fun, catch some cool fish, and we'll probably be getting in at dark or a hair after, so you can pretty well plan on that. So these fish may bite right into dark. So I've seen that before too. So I don't worry
Okay.
about much. It depends on the fish. So
Well, you know what? That's why we love Wayne, because he loves ladies. He wants to see you guys catch fish. And we said the boat comes back at 6:30-ish. He may stay out late, so make your plans flexible. I
yeah,
have
get
I'm
Betty.
gonna ask you a few more questions, and then I'm gonna let you respond, and then I'm
Okay.
gonna open up to the ladies. But
You
ladies,
got it.
wait until I'm done with these questions. Go ahead, Wayne.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say it's dark already, and it's I mean it's dead black dark already. So it's getting dark. It's dark earlier now. So it's just that magic time, I'd say, between 4:30, 5:30 when those fish can really fire up. And that's what I'm pointing toward and hoping happens. So
Okay, when can the ladies get on the boat if they're not in the morning trip? You have a boat that gets back like around 1.
right.
We're gonna have lunch at 11:45, which I'm gonna bring up,
Okay.
because I need some help. Because the place I picked is Land Shark. It's the furthest away from where your boat is. It's by the Hard Rock. I
Yeah.
gotta find another place, and I just keep going on the map. I don't know Bayside. So anyways, I'm gonna get to lunch, but just tell me, what time they can like get on the boat.
Well, when I
approximately.
load up in the morning, everybody just is, it takes 10 or 15 minutes for the folks to get off, get their stuff off. But anytime after that, as soon as everybody's off, you can come on. So
Like 1:15, 1:30.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, 1:30.
And we'll get everybody there. We're out of there. So that's whatever time that is. If it's 1:30, we get out of there. If it's 1:40, we get out of there. It doesn't matter to me. Trying to find the Bayside marketplace for my business is horrendous. I don't even know how, it's just nothing good about it as far as like I do. That's the best way I can put it. There's nothing good about that place.
I guess it's got a lot of shops and restaurants though.
Well, that's cool. I mean, if that's what you go there for, but you go there to fish, and it's really strange too how management there doesn't even list me as an amenity, but I bring 10,000 people a year there. So they don't even put me in their book as an amenity of something they can do, but they got 20 sightseeing boats,
Yeah, I
So,
know. I'd look for you and try to find you, but it is what it is.
no,
So, all right, so I will probably email everybody to try to be there. If they get there at 1:30, maybe we can leave earlier. And I will schedule lunch, and then once you go, I could use some help because I do not know Bayside. And we're gonna schedule lunch at 11:45 so that we'll be done. And if somebody wants to volunteer to help me, otherwise I'll do Land Shark. But Land Shark is the furthest away from where you are.
Mm.
I was gonna do Baba Gump, but people like saying, I'm not sure about Baba Gump. And
yes, you guys try to find another, there's another parking lot across from the arena. It's only like, I think it's like $5 to $8 that if you could, I mean, I don't know if there's a meeting place and just where you can just, have 4 or 5 people in each car, whatever, just to make it less expensive to park there. But downtown's downtown, and our day customers actually park in the arena for like $5 in the morning sometimes, and they allow that. But then if they got an event, forget it. That's the events, eat up all the parking. There's a big public parking lot there, the right west of the arena that it's $5 or $7, I think. So that might be worth looking at. So
if anybody can help me, because I keep going online, I can't find this stuff.
Betty,
Terrible.
there's a
Committee member.
TGI, there's a Fridays right there on Bayside. And there's another place, if you don't like Fridays, excuse the language, but it's called Bacon Bitches.
I
I've never
saw
been
that.
there, but sounds like an interesting menu.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put it out because I'm like, I don't want to pick a place that people, that's really far walk, and I don't know Bayside.
Bacon Bitch is right on the boat.
Oh, this will be lunch.
Yeah, Betty, that Bacon Bitch restaurant is right behind the boat. We're right behind it. That's exactly
Oh.
where we are. So maybe, and upstairs, you got the other, whatever it is up there, there's a restaurant or two upstairs. So that are real close to the boat.
That's what I would like.
Yeah, the TGI
Okay.
Friday up right up there. So
Well, Fridays might be good.
yeah, it might be a good idea. So that's right. I believe that's just up from the dock. So.
Oh,
it's not-
thank you for that, because I mean, I've told everybody, I've gone back and forth about where we're going and going.
Yeah.
You can see the boats from both of those restaurants. If you're sitting on the patio
Yes.
at TGI Fridays, you can look right over the thing and see see the reward boats. So
Yeah. Good.
Cindy, you've been there before?
my daughter has done some fishing events with IGFA on the
Oh,
reward.
good.
Yeah,
good,
that's
good.
how I know it.
Yeah, we do the kids stuff. Yeah.
Yes, she loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. Kids love it. I mean, it's, I wish I had more schools, I'd do a lot more of it, but.
I can
Alrighty.
help with that maybe, but Cindy, I'll get in touch, maybe we'll just do TGI Fridays, I'd rather just be close,
Yeah,
because and we don't even have to do the lunch, but I thought, for people that are traveling and everything, it's just a nice chance to meet the other ladies who are coming, you know what I mean? The more, I want you guys to make friends. I want everybody to talk to everybody and
Yeah.
make new friends. And I want to make new friends myself. Okay, I think that's all the questions I have for you.
Okay.
So
Good.
what I'd like to do is stick around. I'm gonna open it up to the ladies. And if you're not unmuted, raise your hand to ask questions, because I might not have covered everything. I'm gonna go back to gallery view. Okay, iPhone, oh crap, who is that? All right, not
Nancy,
muted. What's your name?
Nancy,
Nancy, and Nancy is from Punta Gorda, from the
Punta Gorda.
Coast.
Now I forgot my question. Oh, so do you want us to bring like plastic bags, everything,
we-
or knives, or?
If you had a small cooler, I do have an ice machine on the dock, but it's suspect as to how much I'm going to have available. It'll be running the whole time while we're out fishing. So if you bring us, I wouldn't overkill this with big coolers,
No.
at all. So, but yeah, whatever a comfortable cooler, and especially, and if you shared one with somebody, it'd even be better to just less stuff, less things to carry. So if that's a thought, if you're by yourself, then you bring your own cooler. That's all with a little bit of ice, and that should be plenty for you.
Can I add something? We have 2 soft coolers on our auction. But a soft cooler is better than a hard cooler. I mean, even
Yeah.
on my boat, I use a soft cooler and I put my sandwiches in there. And a little, Wayne, will you have extra ice if they run out of ice?
Like I said, that's suspect, but we really could. We easily could have a lot of ice. Whatever I've got, you can have, because I don't have a night trip. So when we get back in, we should have plenty of ice. So we should.
Yeah,
So
I usually use like a hard cooler bag, you know what I mean? And I freeze it. Another tip is take bottles of water and freeze those bottles of water. And then you can drink them during the day or use that to keep everything cold. And then you can, put a couple of them in like a little soft-sided cooler. And you can always like put one to drink on the way home. Freeze a bottle of water, a couple bottles of water, and use that instead of ice in your cooler.
Yeah.
Unless you're making drinks.
Well, yeah, whatever ice I have is yours, of course, whatever you like. So on the way in, Janelle's is our mate. She's a woman from Brazil. She's really good fish cleaner. She's a good mate, and we got to help me out too. And of course, I don't sit upstairs because it's foolish. But yeah, we'll have a good time. That's all I know. And I'm really hoping we get good bait. you know, it's changed a lot where you just don't know every day, but this is the time of the year that we can get some really big pilchards, and it makes a huge difference. If we get these great big pilchards, there's no excuses except being hungry, which I can't do anything about. So, but no, we get the right bait, we'll be good. So, and truthfully, if the conditions are right, I may just rock hop. I hit some wrecks, you know, where you can catch mutton snappers, you can catch, you know, who knows, you catch little amberjacks, big amberjacks. I mean, all kinds of stuff. There's been a few mahis around as well. So anytime you put a flat line out off Miami, you can catch a mahi, tuna, a bonita, a sailfish.
Wow.
It's kind of hard sitting there on that sometimes with a spinning rod in your hand and you're watching people cranking fish and you're just sitting there waiting for someone to pull a rod out of your hands. But yeah, you got a really good chance for anything. You know, like I said, right now the sailfish are starting to come through. They're not pouring through, but they're coming through. And it would surprise me if we didn't. If we had the right bait, it'd surprise me we don't hook any. So, like I said, fishing the baits we fish anywhere from top to bottom. We hook the sailfish 200 feet down sometimes. It's, you know, it's fun. I fish tournaments a lot, all back through the 80s, 90s, and to the 2000s, whatever. We caught a lot of sailfish during the tournament, not on kite baits, and it's because we knew they don't always travel through on the surface. It's almost like mahis. You don't catch, and on drift boats, many times we hook mahis out in 400 or 500 feet of water. We catch them on a rig that's got 8 ounces on it, 300 feet down, and the whole school comes up. So when we started hooking like that, yeah, we started hooking sailfish like that, where we'd hook one on a deep line, and then we get this fish on and jump, and next thing you know, the kite lines go down. So it was like the whole mob would come up with them. So I learned over the years that, and even now, if I were to fish sailfish tournaments, I'm not going to fish 6 kite baits. I'm just not going to do it because I know that they could be coming through deep. So, but being on the party, but we used to average at least 150 sailfish a year, and it's tapered off, and I don't know why. I think part of it has to do with the bait. Other things have changed a little bit. I've noticed over the years. I've been doing this a long time, been a captain 50 years, and it's funny how you used to be able to count on April and May having this crazy rip off Miami, and that hasn't happened in 15 years really. And Betty will tell you what it used to be like, you know, when that April, May rip would hit there. My gosh, you were the first boat out there. It was sailfish, it was mahis, it was blackfin tunas, it was wahoos. So something's going on with, you know, those kind of things, you know. So maybe that has something to do with the sailfish. I know us not being able to catch bait. We used to, on the way out, I'd throw the net. Myself, I go up in the bow, the mate run the boat, I throw the net, and we're done. One shot and be done. That hasn't happened in 10 years. So we just buy it now. And it's perfect. You know, the guy comes to our dock and brings us the bait. I mean, how cool is that? So we don't have to do the sabiki, and we don't have to go through all that stuff. You know, we're gonna have a big live well full of bait. So
Well, when you buy bait, how much is it? I mean, do the ladies have to pay for it or what?
Oh no, please no. I'd be happy to. You know, we take care of them, and I don't. You know, when I charge y'all, I charge y'all. That's it. I've never liked that in this business. And I know guys that do it. They get the customers, they get their deposit, they get them on the boat. And oh, well, if you want live bait, it's 200 extra or something. It's like, yeah, you really need that, don't you? You know, that's not right. It isn't right. You know, you should tell folks right up front. So,
well, maybe educate the ladies what goggle eyes cost so they really understand what certain live baits can cost.
Yeah, right now you'd be lucky to get them for, you know, $60 a dozen. That's cheap. You know, yeah, during the tournaments, forget it. You could pay double that easy. So
yeah, we paid up to $120 per dozen for fish that are this big.
Yeah.
And people don't realize you pay for the bait and you may not get a bite on it. So they're like, well, can we take it home and eat it? And we're like, no.
Well, funny.
It's insurance because goggle eyes are candy for sailfish.
Yeah, they are. I actually prefer the smaller baits if I have a choice. And there's a reason. I got my reasons that sailfish come up on a bait like a goggle eye that's so crazy hot, the fish gets too excited, and they go so crazy they get wound up, they get wrapped up, they do crazy strikes. Yet sailfish up to a pilchard or a herring, they eat it and swim away. And all you got to do is lock the reel and wind. They rarely come up jumping on the bite. And I've caught thousands of them. But on a goggle eye or a hot bait, because they got to catch it and eat it. And when they get lit up and they go crazy, but he'll tell you too, those fish go nuts out there sometimes. And they're jumping. They're not even hooked. They're wrapped or something. So And running a party boat and kite fishing, we can't always sit on it. So how many times we'd have the kite up and we just see the floats going around the bow and the sailfish is just swimming around with the float and is, dragging it behind him. He's already got it in his mouth, and we use only circle hooks. So
Okay.
99 times out of 100, hook right in the corner of the mouth. We don't hurt them. So that's important.
Everybody, circle hooks are conservation minded, and it's kind of set it and forget it. It's basically, and hopefully Wayne or his mate will tell you if there are circle hooks involved, and you basically just come tight and reel.
Just wind. Yeah, no setting the hook, no jerking. No, just wind. If we do have any 3-hook rigs out, I have seen times when king mackerel and stuff actually are biting better with a ballyhoo on 3J hooks that we use with different weights. And yeah, when you get hit on one of those, yeah, you could break his neck if you want, because setting the hook, I think, helps that. But circle hooks, you just wind the rod down, and if they're either on or gone, and if they're on, they're usually hooked right in the corner of the mouth, and that's the beauty of them. So whatever kind of fish they are, so they work really well on mutton snappers, amberjacks, any kind of top fish as well. So
Yeah, I mean, we don't know, we're not guaranteed sailfish, but they are out there.
yeah, I'd be surprised if we didn't hook one. So I really
Yeah,
would.
even if we're not kite fishing, there might be a chance, maybe.
No, we catch most of them on flat lines and on weighted. We'll put, have a couple in the bow with no weights, and we'll have a couple with like 1 or an ounce or half ounce. We kind of see what's up. If the conditions dictate, we may fish a whole bunch of them more on the top and have one of these crazy rodeos. I've caught 12 or 14 in a day before when the conditions are right. But having the ammunition is important, and having the ability to change rigs as according to what's going on quickly, and that's what we do. So I'm hoping we get those opportunities. So
Yeah, everybody, your first sailfish or a sailfish is like, that's something that people say wow over. So what I'm going to ask is, I have an iPhone. If anybody has AirDrop, it would be nice to have somebody else to get a good view, because I can't be everywhere all the time, to take pictures and videos, take some videos here and there, especially if there's a sailfish on, point it out there, and maybe, I can get a clip of the sailfish jumping, and then I'll share that all with you. Also, on the way back, like we do with Ladies Let's Go Fishing, we like to take a picture, and Wayne, tell your mate to be ready of all the ladies in the back and as many fish as we can hold. And
Yeah.
Fish, we hold it over our head, don't drop them. And it's just put up with us because it's a memory, and you're going to be glad to be part of that picture.
Betty, if you look at our Facebook stuff on the Reward Fishing Fleet, we stack people up in the bow, and if we turn the boat right, get the sun on it, the shots are spectacular. I got some pictures on there that are really good. And a couple of times we had so many fish here last week when I ran the boat. It was crazy. The tuna fish just were off the charts. But yeah, if you go back on Facebook, you look at some of the pictures. We try to get everybody up in the front, and they hold them up. We take pictures from the top deck. Comes out pretty spectacular. So
yeah, we'll take it from different angles, and then I will share them with you. And also during the day, I'll share my tips on cooking things like mackerel, tuna, whatever we may catch. Because I've sort of been through it all, and I know what works.
Yeah, we do out too, Betty. We'll put out trollers if we got the right setup for a Wahoo troller. And all we ask is that, hey, when you're on the water fishing, you may as well put the stuff out. You're running between spots, you may as well put the trollers out. You don't know what you're going to catch. Many times you get mahi, you get tunas, wahoos, stuff like that. But what we do with the rods in the back, the trolling rods, is you catch a fish, let somebody else catch the next one on that rod. It's just we just do it like you said, as a group.
Yeah, I'm telling ladies, let's take turns. If you've caught a fish, let somebody else who hasn't caught a fish catch it and move. Don't catch 4 fish. Give everybody a chance, and then you can go back. So we'll kind of organize it. But it's kind of the honesty policy. We want everybody to at least catch a fish.
We hope so.
And then we go from there.
Well, we'll mark the fish too. We do mark the fish. We'll give you guys a mark so you know whose is what's is. If we get into these vermilion snappers, yellow eye snappers, I may hit them early, and if they're biting good, we're going to catch some. So I don't normally fish them real repeatedly, drift after drift after drift. But if they're biting, I'll do that for you guys. Look, some of you guys came a long way. So we can hit them up, for an hour and a half or so, whatever, if they're biting good. And everybody should be able to catch something. So that would be really nice to be able to do that. So I'm hoping that they're there. So they kind of were there a week ago, is nice, and they didn't disappear yet that I know of. So I haven't fished this week myself, but got a young captain working for me, and he's been real good. And I told him, I said, don't sit on those snappers every day. I might need them for Sunday afternoon. So he's been staying away from them. So
You
And
know
we
what I'm telling you is Wayne really cares about Ladies Let's Go Fishing. And you're probably getting the TLC from Wayne because he wants to see you catch fish. And then we're gonna take some individual shots too, because I'm gonna submit them to like Coastal Angler and some of these magazines. So even if you haven't been famous before, I would like to, give you your excitement. Does anybody else know? Some people are muted, but raise your hand if you want to ask Wayne a question, because I'm gonna let him go soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta cook something to eat, and that's me for the evening. So I will say this: once you come out with me, look, there's only a few boats. My ex-partner Danny Kipnis, he fishes on the Blue Heron fleet. He told me that those guys up there do it like we used to do it. In other words, they're there to take care of the customers, and that impressed me. I'm actually gonna go up there. I don't know if you guys have ever fished up there with them or not. But he said they do it old school like we do. And our business, our job is to get out there with you guys. And whether truthfully, it doesn't, I don't mean to say it doesn't matter, but we try to have fun with everybody that's on the boat because I know that's what you're there for. So, and I get it. And I've always taken you guys, like I said, we've done everything from sword fishing trips, sail fishing trips with ladies over the years. And we just need to do it a little more often. That'd be great to get something a little more steady, so. That'd be really cool.
Tanisha, did you have a question?
I did, thank you. So I'm very happy to be here, and this will be my first trip with you all. And I haven't been fishing for many, many years, and I just wanted to know, what can I expect that day? Will I have a little guidance so I can get myself situated? I've lost my experience.
You don't need to listen. My business, 35 years ago, we probably had 90% locals and everybody knew how to fish, and a few people that had no idea. Now it's flip-flopped. Being in the marketplace where we have a lot of traveling folks, a lot of tourists come in, and you want to talk about screwing up a tackle. I mean, and it's like they kind of like, we do lessons on the way out, but it's really odd to me how I can listen to my crew on the way out, give everybody explicit directions on how to use the reel. They'll stand up in the front. They'll show them how to use it. We stop the boat and 10 people got the reel upside down, take it out of gear and try to. So one of my running jokes is I say, look, the first backlash is free. After that, they're going to cost you $5. You get 3 backlashes, we give you a cane pole. So,
See, I don't want to be that person.
No, listen. Look, we are absolutely there to make it as easy as possible. So you're going to have fun. You're going to learn how to use the equipment real easy. And if you don't, it's okay too, because that's what we're going to be there for, to help you out. And if you hook big fish, we're going to be right there with you, making sure everything stays right, we hope. So.
Well, that's one thing we really didn't get into, but they're going to get into like how to hold a
Thank you
spinning
very
rod.
much.
You're going to do that on the way out, right?
Yeah, of course. You hook a really big fish. That's the other thing. If you hook at something and the line starts blowing off the reel hard, don't do anything. Just stand there, hold the rod. Don't tighten the drag. You don't have to wind. When you get really excited, sometimes you don't know what to do, but you may hook a fish that just is taken, like a sailfish is arguably the fastest fish in the ocean. And some people think it is. They've actually clocked it at such speeds, and they can take lines so fast, and people get so excited. I don't know how many times we'd see them take the reel out of gear. And if it's a conventional reel, the backlash is horrendous, and usually it breaks the fish off. It's unfortunate. But yeah, if you hook something really crazy big, you just got to let them run. Just hold the rod up. And if you can't hold it up, put it on the rail. It's okay. Yeah, it's not a big deal to leave the foregrip on the rail. And when the rod slacks a little bit, you whine when you can, and it's
I'm gonna help them because they don't know the difference between a spinning and conventional reel, and like how to flip the bail, or if you're free lining, you gotta keep a little pressure on it, otherwise it's gonna backlash.
We'll show you how the
And
difference.
You're gonna
Yeah,
learn
we'll
that
show you the
on the
difference. We're gonna
boat,
put out a
right?
couple of nice spinners.
Wayne?
Thank you.
Are you still there, Wayne?
Yeah, on the way out, she'll show you how to use it. And if we got a few dead baits that are gonna, because we can't fish all that many live baits, which is another thing. Look, if we've got, let's say we got 25 people and we fish 10 live baits and 15 dead baits, we just rotate them around a little bit. You got to realize we've only got a few crew members, and you got to put a live bait on each hook. So, and we got one live well. Now I actually have a couple of those little aerator things. I'm going to make sure they got them going this week. And that helps because we can put a handful of baits up and down the side. But usually the dead baits get out first, the line gets stretched out a little bit. Then we start baiting the live baits up. And that's kind of the procedure we do. If you're in the bow and you got a spinning rod, just cast it out. Keep it open, let it out 100 feet from the boat, keep your finger on the line. That's it. That's all
I'll
you
be
have to.
there, because I mean, some people haven't fished before, and I understand that, so I'll be there. And my husband Chuck may come to help, give you some coaching. So you're gonna learn that all on the boat.
Yeah, it's real simple stuff. We'll
That
keep it.
sounds really good.
Don't worry.
So,
And
right,
Chuck
Betty.
will help you, and the thing is, you gotta make sure your line doesn't get tangled with the other
rod should-
ladies.
Oh, that's the other thing. You bring up a good point, Betty. We do have a whole side full of folks. So what happens is if you look up the rail and somebody's rod's bending, you kind of look. If that line is coming back across you and you're winding up, if you hit that line, you're going to think you got a bite. You may set the hook and break your fish off. So you may hear us say, hey, don't wind up in the bow. Fish is coming your way. And what we do is we have the person follow over, under, around, whatever it takes to get on top of their fish. So it's just a matter, it's like directing traffic. So if a really big fish starts going through the other lines, we just kind of walk you through it. And all you do is go over, you go under, whatever. And the folks that are in your way, all they have to do is be receptive of that and understand it. You're not trying to knock them over, you're just trying to follow fish. And tangles with fish are inevitable, but we manage them. So, and it is a matter of working together. And it's all part of the fun. You get 4, 5, 6 tuna fish on at once. It's crazy. And when they start circling, you want to talk about the fish circling. You're circling too because your line's going around each other, and it's a real rodeo. And I'm just hoping we have that. That's all.
But we'll try to coach you, because there's sometime we'll have to show you how the drag system works. And if you back off the drag, you got to keep a little pressure on. You're going to get a backlash, but you may have to back off the drag for the person who has the fish to get around you. Because if your drag is tight and that fish is going under your line, then there's a problem, right, Wayne?
Yeah, it could be, but on any big fish we have on, one of us is right there. So we try not to leave you alone to screw up,
Well, we might have to screw up, and let me
hope so.
tell you what, mistakes are a part of learning. If you lose a fish because you made a mistake, sometimes you can figure out what you did, and sometimes there's absolutely no reason because the fish did something unexpected. So we'll help you with all that, and don't feel bad about that, because every lost fish is a count towards the next fish you're going to get.
And the beauty of fishing is, let's face it, if every time you went fishing, you caught everything you wanted, I don't know how much you'd do it. You know what I mean? It's like if it was 100% success, I always tell people, you can have the best crew, you can have a $10 million boat, you could have 500 goggle eyes, you could have everything perfect, the water perfect, and not get a bite all day, and it'd still be a beautiful day. So you got to kind of take what it gives you and just enjoy the experience, because that's one of the beauties of fishing. It's variable. You just don't know. You might have the best fishing trip we've had all year, and we may have the worst, but it can't be all that bad. What I say is this: look, nothing breaks, nobody gets hurt. How bad can it be? We have fun. We have a beautiful day and a pretty sunset. I don't know what else you could ask for.
Let me add to that, okay? And compare it to gambling, and you're gambling and you're not getting anything, and the person next to you is hitting jackpots. You keep putting in your money. Well, everybody who gambled won money every time, they would be out of business and there wouldn't be any attraction to it. So that's kind of how fishing is. Sometimes you're a hero Sometimes you're a zero and then you see the heroes and then you know, like, I'm gonna be the hero someday.
Yeah, well, look, I'm really looking forward to this. Nice speaking with you ladies. Betty, thank you again, and we got to do more of this. So
Thank
Last
you.
call,
Thank
any
you.
questions for Wayne? Wayne's gotta
Thank
go.
you. Thank
You're very
you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
well, if any of you want to come in the morning, just tell Betty and just get there at 8:30. So
Yeah, I'll coordinate how to do that and email everybody, but
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to seeing you all.
good. All right. All right. ladies.
All
Have
right,
a
I'm
great-
gonna stop the recording now, but I'm gonna stay it on.
Good
If
night.
anybody wants to say hi to anybody else. Hold on, I'm